I've bought this from eBay for about £5. It is a mini wizard. It has a broken battery case that was listed on the description, and it listed as not powering up. On inspection, everything looks alright there. What I'm thinking is hook it up to the bench, get some power in it, see what the crack is. So what we got, 4 batteries, so 6 volts. So I'm going to pop my little Tenma power supply on. So I thought this would be a fun one to have a play with, because it's, you know, a little childhood game and all that. So what's the start and the end of the power? How would you know that? So I would presume it would go from there to there, because those are the single points, right? So negative to positive, negative to positive, negative to positive, negative to positive. And technically electron flow is from negative to positive, but yeah, okay. So I'm setting off screen, I'm setting my voltage to 6 at 1 amp. Blind guesswork, you know, all the finest. That's just about clipped on. Get some power. Oh, that works fine. These buttons don't do anything though. They just sort of jam down. They don't feel like they're buttons. That one does. That one not so much. Alright. Let's have it apart then. Let's see what the crack. That's a bit disappointing. I'm often buying stuff that just seems to actually work at the moment. So what I've tried to do is, I did a few of these repair vids, but my stupid head kept coming forwards, and I'm terrified of seeing the back of my head in case I'm going bald. So I've just moved the camera back and the mat forward a little. Kids are out, but I think they would probably quite like to play with this if I can get it to work. So I'm using my little screwdriver. I love having magnets on my screwdriver. It's just the way, innit? Oh yeah, let's turn that voltage off. So let's get this apart. And it beeps and it lit up, and the eBay listing said it had no power. I'm fed up of buying things off eBay like spares and repairs, untested, and they work. So, but yeah, I mean the buttons is a real problem, right? No matter what. So how do you get this apart? Okay. So let's have a look at this board. So there's the 4 buttons. I can see some little contacts under the buttons. It looks like I can lift this board out. I think the screwdriver bit I'm using is a little small. Let's go for a larger screwdriver. This is one of those fancy ones with a little directional indicator, so like a ratchet on it or whatever. Are these the same size screws? Yay, Christmas is saved! So some of the worst things I've taken apart, Nintendo Wii, it's about 1 million screws and they're all different sizes and shapes, and got to the point where I actually fixed a fault with the Wii, put it mostly back together, then it turns out the drive didn't work on it, and I was just, oh, screw it. No, I just can't be doing without putting that back together again with it. There you go, let's have a look. Right, oh okay, so that's why some of these are just pinned down. They're just kind of collapsed. So this one here is just collapsed down. It's making this like constant contact. So I could just lift it up, I guess, but those are strange. There's no like spring under them or anything. So those are very poor mechanisms. And see, there's the battery contacts. That's what I should really have looked for. But if I can pull these off, so they just, yeah, I mean, there's no springs on these, because these look like they should have, these X's, whether they should have had springs on them, but maybe not, maybe not. Alright, let's create some separation, as if this was jiu-jitsu. Alright, we've got a switch there. Let's give it some volts. So connect up. Positive. Negative leads. There is no good way to do cable management, everyone stop pretending. Right, let's give that power. What am I meant to do? I don't know what I'm doing. Bong, 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 right? Alright, let's see if we can work out from the casing. Okay, so from the casing, I can say, oh, you can swap those around, that's a bit funny. And that way around. Alright, let's turn it off and on again. Right, you've got the options again, Music Maker. There we go. No sustain. Is that a digital banjo? Nothing wrong with that. So next thing to do, yeah, try it with batteries. Quite a neat little thing, really, but these were everywhere in the 80s when I was growing up. I never had one to my recollection. I had a lot of friends who did. I don't think it will keep my children occupied very long, given so I have been making them play things like Atari 2600s and Master Systems recently, and they've done all right at it actually. But we don't have screen time in the week. We only have screen time on weekends, so they don't have a lot of it. Because otherwise they grow up all squiffy like me. Much rather they were out playing in the garden or doing outdoor stuff or reading books or whatever, and they love all that stuff and the bikes. Right, that's looking good. Let's get the next screw in, and I'm going to find 4 AA's. See if the camera's still on. It's a number of times I've done this and it hasn't been. There we go. AA's. Blong, 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 blong. Can we feel the magic? So I think the person who sold this maybe just had all batteries in or something. I don't know. See, no problem. It's powered up already. And just by forcing those back. Right. The buttons, whether to have a little spring under them, I suppose, to keep them elevated. But to be honest, that's good enough for jazz. Yeah, we can have that back together. There's nothing really wrong with it. That's a real shame. Looking forward to a good old fix. Let's get these screws back in. You can get like drilly screwdrivers that do this super fast if you're doing loads of them. That's quite good. Bing, 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 bonk. Bing, 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 bonk. And maybe this can be stuck back together to some degree. I mean, the plastic looks very fatigued. It doesn't fit great. Might be that someone's attempted it before. Round 2, I found my last remaining tube of glue. So let's give this a proper go, shall we? And that's some rubbish to go in a bin. It didn't work. Okay. Let's snip the end off. Ooh, lively. I'm using a cocktail stick just to, oh heck. Alright, clean it up in a minute. Let's get it all done there. I mean, they say not to use too much. And I'm putting some activator on here. It's the tiniest bit. And this is where I usually realise I'm gluing it back to front or something, but I am absolutely terrible with glue. It just never works for me, but I'm trying it. And maybe if I flood this with glue down the inside. Right. Just trying to like flood glue into this joint, but a bit of melting the plastic together, I don't know, but it is fatigued. There's not much I can do about that. And Super Glory says bonds in seconds, and then I wait for 30 seconds to take it apart, and it falls apart every time, even with this activator on. Cyanoacrylate activator. Do not drink. Don't try to drink it because you'll die. No. I'm just going to have a look at that. I don't want to put any pressure on that, any force on it. I wonder if I can get it in my PCB holder. If not, I'll use the helping hands. Yeah, looks like it's going to go. Ooh, that was close, nearly lost it. Okay, so let's put a bit more glue into it. Hopefully it still fits in the box. I mean, what I generally do is I use exactly the right amount, and then I decide it's not enough, and I go and bodge in absolutely tons. That's the Gavin method. I am not skilled. I'm not a good example of this stuff. I'm a clumsy old bloke. Right. I don't know. Did you do this? There we go. And now we wait. What does this say? Lightly spray once. Oh right. What you're supposed to do is spray it on, allow it to evaporate, and then apply the adhesive. Well, it's not quite what I've done. Maybe that's why it never flipping works for me. I don't know.